I like cereal!
I left them on and not me. Hello, welcome to the Nat Ones. I am the blue jay that has stolen your keys and is now sitting on the top of your chimney and won't give them back. Just like I have done with the Nat Ones. But you're still muted, guys. Here we are ready to get back. We're ready to get back into the game. And I suddenly my brain has gone to heck. Okay, at the end of the last session, our group all decided to accept the trial of the Fae and walked into the magic circle and felt the world stop around them. I'm going to unmute these guys now. Hello.
Hello.
I think I was already unmuted because they could hear me.
Oh,
Good job.
that's
Everyone heard I like cereal!
how. Okay, that I'm gonna have to look at that with OBS at some point. But yeah,
Everything's fine.
before we
Also, I don't want to be that guy, but you've spelt Hydra's name wrong in the overlay.
Really?
Classic flickers.
You know what? We're leaving it. We're leaving it. If I open up Stream Elements now, my computer will explode.
Okay, it's fine.
Hi, yeah.
Hiya!
Okay.
Hiya, the hydrant.
Hiya!
Okay.
Hiya!
Uh,
Hydra, I'm leaving you for Hydra.
oh no.
Understandable. We would do the same.
This is off to the best start ever. I can't wait for this.
That's just you who is like really good at, I don't know, karate.
The Fae already stole my name, so we are off to a good start.
Go
Perfect.
team.
So, explaining to both the chat and my players, today won't be a classic D&D session. It'll be a lot more story based and a lot more sort of a lot more based on sort of like player interactions and just thinking and maybe talking through things. Because today, when we go into each of these different Fae trials, when they start, you may or may not be able to speak in character and therefore out of character. I'll ask you to mute if that's okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. And you may or may not have access, and your characters may look slightly different. I may give you control over a different character, as your appearances may change. But I will ask you to make use of the drawing function on Roll20 as sort of like a way to magically try and communicate with the other people in the trial. If that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sure.
Things might get slightly weird. Who knows?
That said, I'm still not able to see Roll20 for 5 more minutes. So don't
Oh.
start with me.
For 5 more minutes.
Mhm.
Ha ha ha. I was going to start with you, but I can... Hydra, can you see Roll20?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
This is fine. This is fine. Okay. I mean, might get weird. Will probably definitely get weird. Okay, let me quickly scooch through my notes. I'll put on some ominous...
Scoosh, scoosh, scoosh.
Scooch, scooch, scooch. I'll put on some ominous Fae backing music. while I go do
Let's
that.
put on some hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy. That's a different Fey realm entirely. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. 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 So,
Hanabi, I will murder you.
so. Cool. Randomly, bagpipes float through the air, and this signals the start of the transition between what appears to be reality and the rest of the world blending together. As you guys talked about accepting the trial and walking in and trying to work it out and create, get your meeting with Kaizen Great Oak, you felt the world stop and see Hydra's father staring at you from outside the circle, and then the world starts to shift and change and become something completely different from what you thought from what it was a moment ago. Excuse me. And suddenly, almost as if you were in a dream shifting from one area to the next, you find yourself, everybody, seemingly in a desert. Now, none of you immediately know where you are, apart from you, Darush. You know that this is your tent, just as you were deciding to leave. You remember this conversation where you were having it with your father and your mother and your siblings. And your mind is cast back to how sure you were that you wanted to leave and travel and explore the world. But in the back of your head, you also feel this knowledge that maybe if you hadn't left, your father wouldn't have had to come and find you. And maybe your father wouldn't be where you are now. And you're wondering, what would have happened if you'd done something differently? So, as these thoughts are in your head, you fade back into this conversation, and you begin to wonder, what would it have been like if you had said something differently? But you also hear a voice in your head saying, show me your resolve. What would you have, if you truly had time to try again, what would you have done?
Let's see.
So while you think about that, give me 2 seconds. Okay. So, I'm going to put some things down. These are seemingly things that are out of place. And you don't know what you feel like. But you feel different. Both of you feel far less mobile. And this is to Steely and to Balar. And you can't quite tell what's going on. But neither of you can speak. And it becomes your attention that you are both objects around the camp. You can't speak, but you can maybe slightly move yourselves to
I rattle my hinges.
try and basically to try and guide Darush to make a decision, to help Darush with what he wants to do. But you cannot, as you were never there, you have to be things that were originally in the scene. So, Bala, you're a broom, and Steely, you're a bucket.
Yeah,
As
I
you-
rattle my bucket hinges.
As you are, could you double check? You both should be able to control these items. If you,
I will be able to check T-minus 30 seconds.
okay,
Is it at least a steel bucket?
it is. That's the joke. Yes. Perfect. Did you just move the broom there? Perfect.
Where is
Exactly.
the bucket?
There you go.
There we go. I can move it. Ta-da.
So, that's all I have to tell you. This appears to be slightly esoteric, and you're not quite sure what's happening. But you hear the gruff sounds of your mother talking to your smaller sibling, having that same conversation about why they can't go, and your father and older brother trying to teach your smallest sibling, who can't really speak, why they shouldn't be trying to put actual flaming torches into their sandcastle.
Understandable. I will take a moment just to enjoy the scene from the past. Let the melancholy seep through me. Just enjoy the view of being with family once again
Of course.
after so many years.
Your mother walks up to your youngest sibling. Now you can't stop trying to get into his backpack. That's not how this works. Just because
No.
you're in there doesn't mean you get to travel with him. But I want to go. When you're older, you can travel. Okay? You'll be able to go with your brother. Things are calming down. Maybe we won't even have to live as nomadic a lifestyle. And you'll be able to settle down somewhere if you want that. And they have a conversation about where they would want to live, whether it be an oasis or in one of the cities, or even travelling to a different part of the world entirely. Whereas you just hear your father going, ow, ow, as he's pulling these very hot sticks out of a sandcastle. And his brother's like, yeah, those make amazing defences. See, the bigger kids can't step on your sandcastle now. I completely agree, but you should be trying not to burn people. And like, the little child just picks up like a handful of sand and just like puts another sort of, somehow not burning themselves, puts like one of the smouldering embers into it and just like puts it down defiantly. Oh, you're gonna be trouble.
I will come over to the not the youngest, but this one, this one.
Yeah.
Scruffle their heads, pick them up with my trunk, set them on my shoulder, and in Loxodon, Hey, you will come with me one day. You can wait. You will get there. Don't worry.
He stands on your shoulders and flaps your ears. You promised? You promised? But why can't I come with you now? You walked me around the desert and we caught a scorpion the other day. I can come with you. I can be helpful. I can get
I
into
know you
smaller
can be
places than
helpful.
you. I know you're scared of being in small places, and I can get into small places for you.
You see, your older brother also needs to get better with the small places, so he can get everywhere he wants.
If you can get better at smaller places, then I can get stronger and lift bigger things and maybe even hunt bigger scorpions.
Exactly, and with time you will be able to do that. And then you will be able to join me. How about that?
Yeah! Your father finishes picking up all the ashen sticks and picks up a bucket, puts them in the bucket, and puts the bucket by the fire.
Ow!
Strangely, seemingly, even as you say that, you're the part of the vision that is Goldarvin doesn't seem to react like somebody would normally would to a speaking bucket, especially in a land as magical as Defear. Now, son, I will be here, and I will help your mother protect everybody, but you must promise to write. I do want to see you, and I do want to travel, but I feel like I'm a bit too old. Ha ha ha.
We shall all travel together at one point. Please do take care of the family while I'm gone.
As he looks out up the sky, and you can see a large dust cloud on the plains. Well, it appears we'll need to move on our way soon. He walks over to you, claps you on the shoulder. I guess this is where our path diverges. Hopefully when I see you again, we'll be able to have a long talk about what you've discovered.
Hope so too, and I hope you'll bring the news of family, and a good news at that.
He smiles in a way that you haven't seen him do since he became undead. Not having the ability to control his facial muscles in the same way, or be able to do those small, subtle movements. And slowly, everything seems to slow down again. But wouldn't it have been better if he did come with you? And the seemingly uncomfortable nature of the vision changes as you start to feel everything stick and you lose control of your body. And this version of you, seemingly watching, picks up his bag and walks away from the camp. But then, just as suddenly as you got here, you snap back. Once again, the bucket and the broom at the bottom of the scene, and your father and your brother talking to your younger sibling about why not to put burning torches into the into their sandcastle, and your mother trying to stop your youngest sibling getting into your bag. And the last couple of minutes of time reset. A jarring reminder that nothing here is actually real.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting.
So what will you do now?
I have an overwhelming urge to just keep clanging against the bucket. Donk, 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 donk.
Sure. Roll me a performance check.
Okay.
Can I roll a
Oh.
sleight of hand to roll out the way?
17.
You roll me a dex save. Roll me a dex save versus that 17.
Alright, I'll just roll a d20 plus 6.
20.
So as you try to clang against the bucket, seemingly caught by a gust of wind, the bucket rolls over, and the broom soundlessly smashes into the sand.
Black.
That wasn't very effective.
And you somehow feel like the bucket is laughing at
But you rolled a 1. I don't understand.
Oh, did they roll a 1?
you. I didn't.
Yes.
Oh, I thought they got the
Very
20.
much so natural.
Bala rolled
No,
a
I got the
dexterity save.
Yeah.
I rolled the dexterity save that was a 20, and Koala rolled the 1.
I am very sorry. Okay, so you weren't supposed to roll a dex save there. It was just Koala rolling
Yeah, that's why
against
I
your
was like, wait,
performance.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were talking to me that was rolling the
So
dex save.
technically, yes, I rolled a 1 if we're doing crit fails, or I rolled a 7.
Oh, no, crit fails aren't a thing. But you rolled a 7, but you still rolled below Balar. Okay, in that case then,
That's why I was like, wait.
you're not used to being a bucket. And somehow Balar is more used to being a piece of wood. And so bangs against the bucket hard. Everybody turns and looks at the bucket and is concerned. There's no wind. There's no animals in camp that they can see. But right behind you, the bucket has been clanged. Your mother looks at you and is like, Darush, don't put your foot in there. That's cleaning the latrines. Are you okay?
Lovely.
Did you fall over? She pats you down and picks up the bucket and picks up the broom.
Good mother.
You know, if you break those kinds of things outside Defear, I hear they make you pay for them. That's...
I heard about it. Yes.
And we don't have very much money. You know, that's a point. That reminds me. Maybe you should, before you leave Defear, maybe you should visit one of the taverns and pick up some money. The dice that your father has would be very useful for that. Not many people can tamper with a Loxodon dice. But as your mother is saying that, and as they're talking to you, the world seems to swirl and get slower again. You have reached the end of your time here. I think I've got an idea of your character, says a voice like rustling leaves. Dry and soft, but seemingly like the entire of a forest talking to you. And once again, the world shimmers and changes, and you go somewhere completely different.
Heck.
Heck.
So, this time,
Where are we now?
You are in a city. 2 or 3 years ago, from what it seems. But once again, it is... you recognise this place. Steely.
Do I?
You do. This is... Gelwin had come running to you one day that they had found the most amazing score and nobody would think about this. They'd realised, they had dragged you in here and had taken you and shown you this giant skeleton of a beast that hadn't existed for hundreds of years. And Gelwin was like, absolutely, we could nick this. You, look, I can distract people and then I'll set off the cannon and then you can sneak this out the place in the smoke. It'll be the biggest... I even got a guy I can fence it to down at the docks. We can absolutely get away with this. And back in the time when you'd been here, you had looked at Gelwin and said, you've got to think smaller. And instead, you guys had made a distraction and stolen the vase in this cabinet.
That is something I would do.
You had come together.
Dinosaurs was too big.
It is just too big. You had thought of a plan and thought of maybe coming here at night. But, sadly, by the time you had come up with a plan, in the news, there was the daring theft of the giant dinosaur skeleton by Nick Ivor Trevor Alcock. One of Gelwin's rivals in crime. And you remember how sad Gelwin had been, and how you had thought that maybe you could have pulled it off. Maybe if you had just been a bit more daring, maybe you wouldn't have been caught, and you would be one of the most famous thieves in Strasbourg.
But do I want my whole reputation to be based off a dinosaur? Is the better question.
Who knows?
And the answer to that is no.
But, you know, there's the sounds of the city outside and in here, and people clanging and talking, and weirdly, definitely somebody with bagpipes. No, I think that's the wrong one. Okay, this is the one I wanted. Okay. There's the sounds of the city all around you. And Gelwin standing there expectantly. And then everybody starts moving. So what did I choose? Oh yeah.
So, if I was going to make a different decision, it would be to take everything out of its case and hang it on the dinosaur. And leave.
How would you do that? How would you have done such a ridiculous crime?
That's a good question. Let me just check my sheet because I can't remember what it's called. I know I can. I just need to remember what it's called.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
So,
Darush, can you see what you are this time, by the way?
What am I?
You're a stool.
I'm a tall stool.
Am I still a bucket?
No, you're a broom still. One second.
That's
While
fine.
you're looking through that, and this time you have the weird feeling that you can't speak, and you can move, and you can rattle. But you can sort of perceive the scene around you. There's very much this dreamlike
so-
scene.
I'm going to use my spells I would use darkness and minor illusion so
Ooh.
that I can conceal my presence and then make it look like the items are still in their cases while I'm moving them.
Okay. Now, you are not the
Just in
only
case
magic...
people have dark vision.
It is, but darkness is magical darkness, which does make it
People are
harder
gonna
to
know it's
penetrate.
happening.
People are absolutely going to know it's
I'm
happening.
not being sneaky. I
Okay.
could cast Pass Without Trace as well, but that seems like overkill.
Okay, so, what do you say to sell this to Gelwin? This like very overzealous, like impulsive little thief you've worked with for like a year.
Imagine how funny it would be if someone else came to steal this and found it covered in other items, making their job twice as difficult.
That would be funny.
Do you not think that would be funny?
That would be funnier than having the money, probably.
We could even place them in them suggestively.
Oh
Just
my
for
god, I could make it look like I fucked a dinosaur? Hell yes.
Exactly. Everyone wins. And they probably get caught and we don't. Winning.
Perfect. Okay. So, Gelwin will immediately jump on the cannon and roll a performance check to disguise the fact you are casting your spells.
Magnificent.
Furniture. Is there anything you guys want to try and do?
I have realised from the last escapades that trying to do something is pointless, so I just watch.
No.
Like-
It's not pointless. You definitely changed things in the last one. When you noticed that
Fell
the
over,
scene...
like, I want to fell over to block a path a little bit.
Okay, cool, absolutely.
An unusual behaviour.
And Bala, you know that you did change things last time. When you clanged the bucket, it caused Darush's mother to come over and talk to Darush and say something she'd forgotten to say. So you changed what
Okay,
actually
well-
happened.
Well, in that case, since the bucket is pretty much right next to me, I again fall towards the bucket.
Okay. Now this bucket is
Bind the
different.
bucket.
This bucket is not
Oh
stealing.
no, it doesn't. It
This-
doesn't make a sound.
No, it does make a sound.
It just makes
But it-
kind of a...
Sadly, this bucket contained a lot of soapy water. It looks like somebody here made a stain. So, this area of the carpet is now
nice.
absolutely soaked. Okay. So, Gelwin's going to roll a performance check. Okay. And I think that's pretty high. Give me 2 seconds.
Hey, persuading Gelwin not to feel something requires initiative,
It does.
for them to want to participate.
Oh god, I don't have access to Gelwin's... I don't have access to any of Gelwin's sheet. Oh god. Oh well. That's fine.
Womp womp.
That's fine. A 15 is good
I
enough.
think they had a +4 to their charisma stuff, so...
No, it's okay. I can do this. A 15 is easily good enough to distract people, but it doesn't distract people in the exact way that what you'd want. You're in the middle of a museum, so like people aren't exactly going to just come over and say, oh yes, I love the fact you're dancing on a cannon. So one of the museum not security, but sort of the clerks walks over to try and get Gelwin to come off, not noticing the stall. Can you roll me an attack check, please, Mr. Darush the Stool?
Attack.
Yeah.
Do
A
I
D20.
add my strength to it?
You have the strength of a stool, which is 10, but you can
Okay.
roll it as a grapple or as a bludgeoning attack. You can choose.
A grapple. Let's go.
This guy's legs
What a
immediately
leg.
get caught in the stool, and he falls over and smashes into this. He's not getting out of this. You've effectively created a punji trap.
Good job, buddy.
Seeing this,
He's mine.
the guard walks up here and tries to help, not realizing this area is now soaked and slippery, and is going to roll a dexterity saving throw. And
Lol.
falls on his ass.
No.
So despite Gelwyn's distraction being not quite right, I feel like this is going well.
Absolute chaos. No eyes are on you. The person who was guarding the skeleton has run over to try and help get this guy out, but absolutely can't, and has in fact tangled himself in the stool as well. Orbs
I'm a
of
very flexible stool.
darkness.
Pretending I'm concerned about the guy who fell over, I'm going to move over here to like make sure the darkness covers everything. And cast it.
That is absolutely fine. An orb of darkness covers. Control Z. Covers this entire area.
Mm-hmm.
Now I looked at it again, and it is just dark. It's not actually blocking dark vision. But luckily, you
No, I
notice
know.
everybody else in this room is, apart from Gelwyn, is human.
Yeah.
So you can easily run around and grab everything. How do
I'm
you
gonna
want to?
grab everything and put it at the edge of my darkness, and then use the minor illusion to like move it onto the skeleton, and then sneak back into the darkness.
Okay, it is absolute chaos. The other guard rushes from the door into the darkness, thinking somebody's going to steal something. Notices things are missing, runs across, smashes into the cannon.
I've got 4 of them so far. 5. Checking on how those two are doing over there.
Okay.
Sneaky, sneak, sneak, sneak. Do you want me to roll a sneaky sneak?
Yes, please roll a sneak.
What is stealth?
Would you... Now, Darush is very occupied, but while Zhao is...
23.
Holy shit. Nobody even suspects you're moving. Everybody probably still thinks you're standing where you were. Such a confused, innocent bystander. Steely, okay? You've seen Zhao's plan go ahead. As you have a sort of strange sixth sense about things. Rather than seeing things, you know what Zhao's doing is going well. Is there anything else you want to do to try and help? Bala?
Yes.
Was there anything else you want to do?
Aren't I covered in water on the floor right now?
You absolutely are.
Okay, so apart from being wet and miserable, that sounds so wrong. I'm a hard broom on the floor, covered in water. So where's they're over there.
Mm-hmm. You have a wriggling
Try and
pile of
flip yourself
bodies.
over and smack the
That's
guard
what I
with
was
the sword in the
literally.
face.
Yeah. Can I like? This is gonna be brilliant. Okay, can I try and stick my end in the bucket and toss it across the room?
You absolutely can. Roll me an acrobatics check as a broom. So that would be just a d20.
Just D20, no add, yeah.
20?
20?
Bruh.
The broom You
It's the most
somehow...
acrobatic broom you've ever seen.
It spins around with the bucket on its top and goes over here and crashes against the cannon. Which,
I only have one thing to say,
what's that?
which is
Yes, when I explained this to Riley, they were like, "Are you going Fantasia on us?" And the bucket sparks as it smashes with such force against the cannon. Now, what Gelwin didn't tell you is they had already put the gunpowder in the cannon,
Oh no.
and the final thing that happens is it just lets off a giant blast through the dinosaur's legs, leaving just a giant fiery hole in the stage.
Wonderful.
And then everything slows down in the fire, and the skeleton covered in bits of art and looking so
Now,
ridiculous.
This is memorable. People will never forget this.
People will absolutely never forget this. And as the sound fades away, you just hear... all you can hear is laughter. And... yeah.
I'm just gonna double high five with Gelwin before it ends.
Sadly, as you try and do, Gelwin's hand doesn't move, as they are part of the illusion.
What?
And strangely, your illusion doesn't reset. The laughter stays there. And you get a sense of, like, great approval.
Are you not entertained?
Okay.
Yeah. Stella doesn't really have any boundaries.
No.
She just goes with it.
I did have a plan for Balar, but I feel like after that display, Balar doesn't even need to prove anything. So,
Balar was the best broom ever.
yeah. You guys tried...
Wow.
yeah. So
Balar
you
has
guys...
proved his worth being able to do pretty much the kill shot of all broom bucket throws.
Exactly. Exactly. However, you guys will reappear seemingly in a glade. There is...
Now, all of us are probably thinking, is this still an illusion?
you are.
Even if it's not.
It feels magical. Definitely.
But it might be real.
So obviously I was conscious for all this, so I'm obviously aware that these illusions happen, so I'm kind of like, if we're out of these illusions now, I'm confused why I didn't get one.
Okay.
I'm feeling very left out.
All will be made clear.
Fine.
But
Well,
yes.
I was just like sulking.
Good job, team. I don't
Good
know
job,
what we
team.
did well, but we did something.
You did surprisingly.
Were you really that surprised? That's my chosen course of action, really.
So all of you barely spent any time in the circle, but the replication of those memories of yours was and the fact that they were linked some way to a desire you had was quite quite strange. Like, you had been in the circle less than a couple of seconds by your estimation, but seemingly this uh, by but it somehow this force had managed to pull out all this information about your past and recreate it perfectly, even for people that had never been there.
Madness.
Absolute madness. But as things return, you notice that you are all standing there. Even Fenny, who wasn't there in the illusions, is sitting very quietly beside you, Balar, with a sort of looking like and you couldn't hear them in your head for the entire time that you were in the illusion. Also, you couldn't hear your ribbon in your head at all either. Suddenly, it is very loud in your brain.
Noises!
Loud noises. Your father is not here, though. Because he did not enter the circle. And where you are, this row of bushes hums with a strange magic. And as the scene gradually becomes more clear, and once again you feel the wind and a slight drizzle coming down, you look forward and see giant fey creatures standing at the edge of a lake. Loud raised voices, speaking in a language you don't quite understand. Not just hearing it for the first time anyway. These two powerful figures facing each other, with smaller versions of themselves, are surrounding them. There is definite tension in the air as you arrive here. And we're going to take a break here. So, why don't you guys go run to the toilet, grab a drink, and
Yeah.
yeah. I apologize for the lack of music, but we have returned, and we are going to re-enter the game. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Good. Oh, holy shit! I was so scared for a second there. I was like, oh crap, everything broke. Okay, cool.
To be fair, knowing your luck, that wouldn't surprise me.
It would not. Oh my god. So, as you guys exit the swirl of magic, seemingly waking up from a dream, that same near instantaneous but seemingly arduous process of waking up and entering the world, you see in front of you that same scene of the large fae speaking in a language you can't quite understand at a glance. But Fenny's ears prick up, and they do seem to have some idea what's going on, as Fenny's voice of being like, "Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?" goes quiet in your head, Balor.
Sensing Fenny's distress,
I just basically look at Fenny and just kind of shrug. And I just said that I turned to Fenny, shrug, and just go, "I was a cool broom."
Fenny breaks out of his distraction for a second and looks at you like, "You were a broom? That is very strange. But seemingly makes sense for what I know about here."
I'll take it.
Yeah, that does fit. Okay, Balor the Broomtastic. One of the
new nickname.
From the other creatures, still still seemingly a deep in quite involved conversation, but one of them walks up to you and stands in front of you. "I am Bracklin, paladin of these woods. You have come at a bad time. I don't know why Master Kaizen let you through, but these woods have enough scars already. Why are you here? All of you."
Because we made them laugh? I heard cackling. I have very high charisma, by the way, if you want me to roll for persuading them.
Are you guys happy for Stella to take the lead?
Yes.
Okay, yes, roll for charisma. And
14
okay.
with my plus.
That's better than average. So they can tell you're not lying. But they are a very serious and seemingly dour person. They don't put away all their weapon, but they do lower it.
Is there any way that we can help, or we can just wait and stay out the way? Which would you prefer?
Wait, stay out of the way, and don't interrupt.
Understood.
You may come forward.
We thank you kindly.
Cool.
Now, Balor, did you hear what the man said?
Bracklin
Yes.
points to this spot.
Love to move, but I don't have control over my
Oh,
character.
whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops. I wondered why you guys weren't moving.
And
Cool. 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 Do you guys have control over your characters?
Yes. At least me.
Yep.
no, I can't move mine. I don't know why. Don't know. Feel free to just whiz
I
me to the
will-
right place right now.
Double check something.
It might just be because I'm on iPad. It's not you.
Yeah, I think it's because you're on iPad.
It's just difficult to control.
It's okay. I will whack you up near these guys.
Giggity.
Thank you.
Bracklin turns and looks at you and subtly pushes you this way. Do you resist?
No.
Okay. Fenny,
Form a nice file, please.
yes, behind the large tree person. So, though this person isn't as wide as you, Darush, they are as tall, if not taller than you, and seemingly just as heavy. You feel like in a contest of height and weight and strength, they could easily be your equal.
Finally, someone who I can be equal with, at least body-wise.
Yeah, you don't have to look down when you talk to them. You're face to face when you talk to Bracklin. So, do any of you want to try and understand the conversation that's happening?
What
Yes.
language is it? That's the question.
I don't
Or do
think
we
it's a
just not know
language
it
any of
anyway?
you speak, but it is similar to a language. I think Darush, you're going to find this the hardest. I don't think any of the languages you speak are. Yeah, because you have Common and Loxodon. I don't think any of the languages
Yes.
you speak are anything close to what this is.
I speak like 4 languages, I guess.
That's the thing. And I think that Steely, we never taught. Oh wait, no, you speak. So Steely speaks. Steely, this will be incredibly easy for you. You feel like you can
Oh, nice.
almost understand, but you can't quite.
Mm.
And Bala, you understand. So you
Okay.
don't have to. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
Steely is like an English guy coming to Glasgow for the first time.
Yeah.
Precisely. Precisely.
So if you can both make me a roll on either history or what else would be apart from history? History or I guess Arcana? Just yeah, history, Arcana. Okay.
I got it.
Oh, you don't have to roll, Bala.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, sure. I understand. Got you. Never mind.
So
The
I
guys
understand
like me
nothing.
today.
Koala understands nothing.
So-
Definitely
Fine.
nothing.
I'm gonna go through in order from the most success to the least success. So Bella and you completely understand. These are speaking Druidic. You know that when you obtained your magic, you gained an innate understanding of this language, but you also know that you are not supposed to teach it to anybody, because it's precisely this is what it is. It's a language used by powerful beings and their emissaries to conduct meetings, to talk to each other, to be basically the secret language of the living world. You know that in the rumbling tones of this one, though when you weren't really paying attention, they sounded aggressive, like tree branches snapping and roots being pulled from the ground. They're actually being quite reasonable now you hear what they're saying. Though this one appeared to be a babbling brook, you could tell that it sounded calm, but it's a constant stream of near expletive insults.
Oh.
This one
Okay.
is saying the realms are under attack. I agree. And the gods are weaker than they once were. But this isn't the time to do this. I sense great darkness and corruption happening in many parts of the world. If we take this chance to push down those who are being oppressed, that could be us next. The forests could fall and the rivers could become polluted. And the world could once again come to the brink of destruction like it has millennia ago. And the large water fae says, "You are a coward. Nothing but that. You sit here sitting in your growing expanse of vines and moss and mud, whereas I am being constantly dumped into, pulled from, having my bounties taken from me, having my rivers dammed and stowed for the mortal races to use my energies against me, to even fill me in, to collapse my realm, to have it filled with yours and theirs and the realm of the gods. I'm not just going to sit here. If you won't help me, then the rivers will fight back. I will find a way. I will find my emissary, even if you can't. And even if I have to use that accursed thing myself again, I will do it. The tree seems to raise its hands and start to make a reply, but this creature just melds into the water. These ones form up and stay on the shore. They don't leave. They don't come on land. But they don't seem friendly. The situation appears to have gotten even more tense, as these beings here become far more animated, moving towards these locations. Brackling seems to forget about you and moves up to the shore. Darush, you don't know the words that were said, but much like Balar, you managed to get the tone of what was being said. From concentrating on it, you could tell that the water being was being far more aggressive than the wooden being. But you couldn't tell what was said, and there's no way for you to know. Steely, you were starting to decipher it, but Fenny, just at the point as you were starting to listen, started pulling against your ankles, and you had to do everything in your power to stop him from running forwards. That's why you weren't able to listen to the conversation.
That tracks.
Uh,
Master and pet can't both behave at the same time.
Yeah, I actually listened and stayed quiet, but Fenny was just like, "Fuck this."
do you try and hold Fenny back?
Yep. And give him treats and tell him to wait until they stop talking.
Even the treats don't appear to hold him back. That they are being pushed forward by some.
And I grab the scruff of his neck and make him stay.
Okay. Your Fenny is going to try and escape.
That's fine. You can try.
You can certainly try.
Did that roll?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fenny,
What do you want me? A strength check?
strength, so athletics or acrobatics?
Ooh, decisions. Let's see. Athletics or acrobatics? Definitely acrobatics.
Though, on any other day,
I would have won.
you would have won. You'd have captured Fenny. Fenny's not normally this animated. Fenny's normally quite lazy and will like give up and then take a treat from you and chat to you and huff. But this time Fenny is on a mission. They squirm through you, unlike a fox and closer to a ferret, and run up to this being and start sniffing it wildly. And it slowly turns.
Uh-oh.
This thing is huge. It makes your father look the size of a normal man, Durish. It towers to the size of a tree. Like a great willow or ash or a great oak, you could say. And it bends down at the small fox trying to sniff it and seems puzzled. Fennis, why are you staying in that form when you're here? Why don't you get back into what you were before? You appear to have led them back here, which is the correct thing to do. And it taps Fenny's head. And a great glow covers Fenny. And that's all I have written. So I'm afraid that's where we're ending today.
This was cool though.
I'm just stood there watching this with my mouth open.
Yes.
I'm in that position of every pet owner where they can't keep an animal still, where they're lying prostrate on the floor, like flat forwards with their arms outstretched. Like, God damn it.
Not again!
How dare.
Yes. Now we're out of game. Just something that everybody might be aware of. Tia is not here. That is not a mistake. That is indeed something that has been talked about with the player for Tia. And they we're going to have to do this differently, but it at least to say this is
I'm assuming they got sent somewhere else and we might see them further down.
yes, probably momentarily in
That's how I
character.
took it,
Still.
you know? Worrying about it isn't going to help anyone.
Chaos Crew has yet to be determined. That is another thing. I need to get better at scheduling people. I have to say, I am very glad that you guys are helping me do this, as I am slowly getting more responsibility at work. I'm realizing, holy heck, rounding up people is hard, and you need to make sure everybody's aware of every change that happens. Thank you for making sure Dimwee was here.
So technically,
Don't worry, I was gonna be here.
Eventually, like a real mage. Always on time.
Uh-huh.
Yes. But Chaos Crew has yet to be decided. If keep an eye on the I would say keep an eye on the Discord, but you can't use that. I know how to do this. Keep an eye on the Discord of the wonderful Hanabi Kitty.
Good job. Yeah.
And if you join, I will post things in there. That will be probably the best place to go.
You get no choice here, Hanabi.
That's very funny.
You have been used.
Good job, Flickers. Proud of you.
Sorry, Han. Okay. Enjoy your evening, guys. Hopefully we will have more next time, and I will be able to expand on. Also, I will be changing Hydra's name on the overlay. And we will be able to expand on
No, it's Hydra.
No, it's Hydra!
Hydra.
Hydra! Hydra!
Say bye.
The hydrant.
Thank you very much for joining us for today's stream. All the assets and a lot of the art was created by the amazing Wackadude, who helped me create this setting, as well as the incredibly talented Dices, who is also working on their own webcomic, which is only a couple of chapters away from release, called Triple D Quad DDD Mega. You will. It's amazing. It's a sci-fi that tackles themes that don't normally appear in sci-fi fantasy. So yeah. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on streams, not just from me. Maybe Cthulhu, maybe other things. Yeah. From this little bird that stole the keys. Goodbye.